Hey guys, let's talk about how to survive financially if you're on unemployment or if you're in another situation, perhaps after inflation really kicks in and you don't know how you're going to make ends meet. It's tempting, like a lot of people just walk away from their house, to just say, the heck with everything, I'm walking away from it. Especially when you're overwhelmed. When you're unemployed, you can be depressed, you're out of your routine, and you're just awash in all these different things, and it's hard to keep the faith and really focus. The easiest way to deal with your credit cards, actually, or the best way, is to keep paying them. What you have to realize is if you're paying 15 or 19% or even 9 or 10% interest, that's a lot more interest than the credit card companies are paying for the money that they lent you. Remember, they're getting money from the Federal Reserve at 5% interest. Excuse me, 0.5% interest. That is just incredible if you think about it. So here they are, they're paying 0.5% interest from the Fed, and they're loaning it to you and me for 9, 15, 20% plus all the fees. First thing to do if you're unemployed or if you're in a bad situation is you call them up, and there's the 800 phone number on the back of your card, and just say, I need to talk to somebody about my card. And number of different things is going to happen. Number one, they might just shut your card down, which is fine. They're going to close your card down and give you a lower interest rate. Here's the deal. You're in a position of strength, because when you tell them, I've lost my job or I can't afford my payments, what they're thinking is, oh my gosh, we might get nothing out of this guy. So what they are willing to do, it's in their best interest, they'll cut your interest down to zero, or I know some of this from personal experience and from friends, 0.5% interest. Now, if they cut your interest rate down to 0.5% interest, now you're looking at free money, which is pretty good. So now if they say, and they'll even say, how much can you afford? Your minimum monthly payment is $250 a month. Well, you say, hey, I can only afford about $100 a month. You'll hear them clicking on the keypad, and they might give you a payment at like $100 a month for a year at 0.5% interest. Now, if you're like me, you might think, well, why would they do that? But think about it. Over the next 12 months, they're going to get $1,200 out of you, which is a lot better than zero if you just give up, if you're overwhelmed. So there is hope. They will take your interest rates down from 19 or 20% interest to half a point of interest, 0.5 percentage point, and lower your monthly payment as well, because they realize they've got to throw you a bone so that they're going to get something. Because even $100 a month for 12 months is $1,200. It's a lot more than zero. So call your credit card companies immediately, especially if you do that before you get into trouble. You're in a better bargaining position. So that's the first thing you want to do. Second thing is look at all of your other creditors. For instance, if you have Brinks or ADT or the home security system, you call them up and say, or your cable, hey, I need to talk to somebody about canceling. I've lost my job. I know for a fact that some of these outfits will say, let me put you through to our other department, and they'll have a deal whereby they will waive your payments for a few months. And what that does on their part is, hey, we're not going to get any money from these people anyway. Why don't we waive their payments for 5 months to show them that we care, create some goodwill, and then at the end of the 5 or 6 months, maybe they'll keep our service. Because if you think about it, it doesn't cost them anything to keep it on. If it's your home security or your cable and they turn off the plug, it's not saving them any money, really. So that's another way where you can definitely help yourself out. You make 4 or 5 phone calls like that in a morning with a cup of coffee, and you might have just saved yourself $500, $600, $800 a month cash flow. And suddenly things don't look so bad. Suddenly things are like, wow, maybe I can survive a little bit longer. So make those phone calls and realize that, hey, there's no shame in that. You got to get over the fact that a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm ashamed, I can't make my bills. You know what? It's not your fault. Or maybe it is your fault. But the fact is, it's a business deal. It's not about compassion, because businesses don't have compassion. But they are thinking what's in their best interest. And if they will reduce your payment and reduce your interest rate, it's because it's in their best interest. They're not doing it just to be sweethearts. So take advantage of that. It's perfectly legitimate. And stay tuned. There'll be a video also about your heating bill, especially if you live in the colder climates. Your heating bills can go, sky high in the wintertime. And we'll talk about how to bring your heating bill under control very quickly and very easily. Please comment on our video here and like it if you would. Thanks a lot.